What is up, ladies and gentlemen? I hope you all had a great weekend. I am getting back after my picks against the spread. Going to do a review for the Week 15 picks against the spread. Also going to do my Week 16 picks as well, all in one. And something I talked about last week, I am going to do a college football playoff episode right after this. So as soon as I get done doing this, I'm going to stop. I'm going to set up for the next one, and I'm going to go ahead and do a record because these guys right here got something to prove, okay? So if you know me, you know I'm a Hurricanes, Dolphins, and Heat fan in the sports aspect, and today's a big game for the Miami Hurricanes. They take on Texas A&M at 12. Man, I am stoked right now. So I'm going to get through these NFL Week 15 picks against the spread as well as the Week 16 picks. And not going to fly through these. Still going to try to give you as much insight, but going to let you know what I did for the Week 15 picks and kind of some of those outcomes. So my final results for that week was 9-7. We had some of these games that turned out exactly how we expect these Sunday night games to be. Or Sunday games to be, because it's any given Sunday. We talk about this. And there's some wins on here that you were not expecting. I was not expecting. And my picks for Week 16 are going to reflect the results from Week 15 and why I'm picking who I'm picking. So let's go ahead and get into this. The Thursday night game last week on December 11th, we had the Atlanta Falcons taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Falcons steal the game. Buccaneers did everything that they could to hand the game over to the Falcons. And that's a divisional game. And it's a very weak division. But the Bucs, for me, were the front runner to win this division. Now they're not. They are absolutely not. The Carolina Panthers is who I'm looking at to win this division. And when you see my Week 16 pick, you're going to notice something about that. Bucs are just falling apart. Had all their weapons back and just still aren't being who they want. Egbuka started off the season real hot and has now, for a complete month, consecutive weeks, he's been a non-factor for this team. Been a complete non-factor. And when you're the number one guy, your offensive coordinator has to figure out ways to scheme you into the game. You can't be out there being double covered all the time. Put the man in motion. Okay, yes, he's a one. But what do great coaches do? They find a way to get their best receiver the ball. And right now, Egbuka is the best receiver. Evans is not a shell of himself, but he's had a concussion and broke his collarbone. There's a lot going on in Tampa Bay. And Baker's trying to right the ship, but he can't do it by himself. The last 2 years, the Bucs have had two head coaches in the offensive coordinator position. The head coach in Carolina, now the head coach in Jacksonville. We're both of his offensive coordinator for the last 2 years. Last year and the year before. The Bucs are a good team, but they're making mental mistakes. I don't think Todd Bowles should be the head coach of the Bucs, in my opinion. Something about him just does not bring to me like, that is the guy I want as a head coach. Now, players may feel a little bit different. I don't feel that way about him. So, I'm not sure if the Bucs are going to keep him after this year. I mean, they've been in the playoffs the last couple of years, but like I said, it's a weak division, very weak. You're getting into the playoffs with a home game with a 9-8 record or 8-9 record. Believe that or not. Not really sure what's going on with the Bucs. Atlanta, though, vintage Kirk Cousins comes back out and plays, and he is a primetime guy. That's his thing. On primetime, this man's going to play his best ball. John Robinson. You said all you needed to say. All you needed to say. You were basically trying to say that Kirk Cousins is better than Michael Penix without saying it. In my opinion, take it how you want. But that's what I got from Bijan Robinson making the comments about how great Kirk Cousins was. Yes, he's experienced, so you expect him to be better than Penix. But Penix has a much bigger upside. So much more to it. Kirk Cousins, you know exactly what he brings to the table. I think his Achilles took away some of his physical attributes that not many people take into consideration. So that's something that you got to look at. You have to look at that. I just got to make some quick notes here. Just making some notes because I just saw something here, so I got to fix that. Cool. All right. Heard my frantic writing, but that's all right. So, going to get right back into this. So, Falcons win 29-28. They beat the Bucs. Bucs just look like an absolute shell of themselves. I don't know what they're going to need to do to right the ship, but no running game. Bucky Irving's back, and they're just not putting things together. Got to figure out what's going on there in Tampa Bay. Next, we have the Cleveland Browns at the Chicago Bears. So, excuse me. When we started this season, I talked about the quarterback situation for the Browns, I believe, going into week 1. How the Cleveland Browns are not going to keep all these guys on their team. And matter of fact, only 2 of those guys are on the team right now. And the 4th one is the one starting for the rest of the season. And the one, in my opinion, probably should have been taken and the other one not. So, Cleveland Browns have been starting Shador Sanders the last couple weeks, and he's going to finish out the season, plain and simple. And he deserves it. He absolutely does. He has outplayed Dylan Gabriel, hands down. If you tell me that he hasn't, you're lying to yourself. I've watched Dylan Gabriel throw 50 passes in a game. 50 passes in a game. 50. 5-0. I don't even think he got over 250 yards. So the problem with that is that Dylan Gabriel cannot see. Down the field is going to be a problem. You got to have the pocket open. I talk about short quarterbacks all the time. And a lot of the passes that Tua was throwing weren't necessarily passes that your height has to do with it, but it seems to be that issue now. Tua has blatantly spoke up about not being able to see his receivers and why they don't get the ball sometimes. Height is a factor. Height is a factor. 6'1" or better is the height that you need, in my opinion. 6 foot, you're borderline 5'11". Okay? A lot of these 6 foot and shorter quarterbacks have been struggling lately. Really been struggling. The ones that are really, really good are the ones that 6'2", 6'3". You look at 6'4", Drake May, he can see over the line. There's nobody affecting his vision. You get these shorter guys, you have to move the pocket. You got to be able to create throwing lanes for them. And if you don't create throwing lanes for them, they're going to hang on to the ball. They're not going to be able to see blitz coverages. They're not going to know where to go with the football. So, Cleveland, you got Shador Sanders back there. He's 6'2", 6'3" quarterback. Playing well. He sees the field. That's one thing. I think Shador knows where to go with the ball a little bit better than Dylan Gabriel does. And that's just matter of fact. So I'm glad Shador has gotten the starts here in this end of the season. Give himself a chance to prove himself, because when next season starts, you're going to have 3 guys to pick from. Deshaun Watson, Dylan Gabriel, Shador Sanders. It's going to be a problem. Huge problem, because you owe Deshaun a lot of money. A lot of money. Bears absolutely destroyed the Cleveland Browns, and I picked the Bears 7.5 favorite. They win 31-3. Moving on, Baltimore at Cincinnati. Cincinnati really gave Baltimore some struggle, so I picked them plus 2.5 in this. And Joe Burrow, man, I don't know what's going on with you. I really don't. You're having some mental battles right now. I think the injury, putting you on the sideline, not being able to play, and the type of injury that you have is not something that you come back from easily. And I think he was fighting some demons on the sideline, and now he comes back and they're not winning, but he's playing. So he's playing for nothing, essentially. And I think he's tired of doing that because his second league in the year, he goes to the Super Bowl. So there's a lot of things that go into this to why Joe Burrow's not having fun. When he starts winning again, having success, he's going to love the game again. Baltimore, Lamar Jackson, not really looking like himself. Not like MVP Lamar Jackson. Been dinged up a little bit. He's been wanting to stay in the pocket more. Not be as much of a dynamic runner, which I don't blame him. But they got back to it. And they beat the Cincinnati Bengals 24-0. And I didn't pick that one very well. Next up, we have the Los Angeles Chargers at the Kansas City Chiefs. And I picked the Chargers to beat the Chiefs. Chiefs have been really falling off lately, even though they got their weapons back. They lose another one. My guy, Mahomes, out for the season, torn ACL, which I got to make a comment about this. How the hell does Mahomes get diagnosed with a torn ACL same day when everybody else in the NFL, Micah Parsons tore it on the same damn day, okay? Listen. Mahomes got diagnosed with a torn ACL hours after it happened. Hours. How? Not fear a torn ACL. It was Adam Schefter reporting, in fact, Mahomes has torn his ACL. Yet Micah Parsons has to wait till the next day to confirm a torn ACL. Makes no damn sense at all. It just shows you, depending on who you are, you're going to get answers sooner than later. So, I don't know. Typically, when you do an ACL test, that's good enough for me to know whether your ACL is intact or not, because it's supposed to do a job. And if it's not doing its job, you're going to know. Justin Herbert, with a bionic hand, has just been an absolute robot out there. They win 16-13 to cover the spread. I picked him plus 4.5. Kansas City, man, not making the playoffs. Been like 10 years since they've been in the playoffs, and they're not going to be in there. First time in like 10 years since Brady or Mahomes is not going to be in the playoffs. Or Manning, I believe, something. Moving on to the Buffalo Bills at New England. So this was the tightest game on the slate of Week 15 games. This was a 0.5 spread. Patriots were the underdog, 0.5, and I took them because they beat Buffalo last time. Also a 0.5 spread. Buffalo wins 35-31, and New England was dominating this game. It was like 24-7. 24-7. And they took their foot off the gas, ultimately. I mean, I don't know how else you say it. They took their foot off the gas. Plain and simple. There was nothing that the Bills did that surprised you, but except Josh Allen being the man of this team and willing his team to victory. Plain and simple. New England took your foot off the gas really hard to get your foot back on the gas when you're up big, everything's working for you. Then it's not. New England loses 31-35. The Bills look like they're going to have a chance to win the division now after New England was the outright leader pretty much all year. I took the Patriots plus 5. Did not cover the spread. Next up, we got the Washington Commanders at the New York Giants. New York Giants don't have any receivers, unfortunately, and I think that's affecting Jackson Dart. Essentially, his best receiver might be Wan'Dale Robinson right now. I thought Darius Slayton could be a 1 or 2 guy. He's not stepped up and played to that potential. So I don't know. I don't know what the Giants are going to look like next year, unfortunately. You'll have Malik Neighbors back, but who's going to be the head coach? Who's going to be calling the plays? A lot of things are going to be going on there. But Jaden Daniels shut down for the rest of the year. Marcus Mariota going to get some important snaps and might give him a chance to be a starter somewhere next year. You know, whether it's a bridge, like a bridge gap. One of those things where you put the guy in, you're going to play 5 or 6 games. As soon as he plays bad or something, you can just put the next guy in. It happened in Atlanta. He didn't handle it too well. Washington 29, Giants 21. Both teams not really playing for much there, so not too much to get into on that one. I did take the Commanders though, plus 2.5. Really surprised on why the Giants are minus 2.5 favorites. but I do know why. Because they're at home. Plain and simple. Next up, we have the Las Vegas Raiders at the Philadelphia Eagles. And let me tell you something. The Raiders are terrible. Absolutely terrible. I don't know what Chip Kelly did to this team, but Chip Kelly was basically sabotaging this team. Sabotaging. I don't know if the goal was to let's sabotage all the play calls and then next year we can get a high pick and we'll bring a quarterback in that we really, really believe in. It has a huge upside. I don't know. Geno Smith did really well with Pete Carroll in Seattle. I don't know if Chip Kelly just effed all that up for him. I don't know, because Geno Smith does not look that good at all. So, Raiders, figure it out, my man. Eagles, hey, right on stride. They were a minus 12.5 favorite, and I took them. There was 5 games, because 9.5 means you got to have 10. 5 games in week 15 that were 10-point spreads or more. 10-point. Insane. Eagles, they're rolling. They lead that division. Probably going to win the division. I don't know how far they're going to go, though. They don't look like the same team as last year. That running game gets going, and then it doesn't. And you got a guy on the outside that's got some demons. I'm talking about A.J. Brown. Demons in not a bad way, but in a way of he's going to be a distraction sometimes. You just got to let him do his thing. Just know he's going to be there and he's going to play. Eagles win 31-0. Next up, Jets at the Jacksonville Jaguars. Jets are terrible. Absolutely terrible. I'm glad Justin Fields is not on the field anymore. I've tried to say it. He's not an NFL quarterback. I don't know how the hell the Jets decided we're going to pay this guy and we're going to start him. What did you see from him? What did you see? He did the exact same thing in Chicago as he did in Pittsburgh. And he did the exact same thing for the Jets that he did in Pittsburgh and the Bears. As in, very limited passer. He throws really good 10 to 15 yard hitch routes, curl routes, out routes, deep balls. That's it. He can't throw a freaking 5-yard in-breaking slant through a window. He can't. He runs well, but he is not capable of making all the throws. He has the arm talent too, but he's not capable of doing it. Don't know why. Justin Fields, sorry, man, but I don't even know if you're going to be on a team next year. You might be a second or third string, unfortunately. On the other hand, Trevor Lawrence has been playing with a little bit more consistency. He's really shut me up now because he had a game against the Jets. If you had him in fantasy, you know he put up 50-plus points that week. Who expects Trevor Lawrence to put up points like this? Not me. Not me. 38-20. Aaron Glenn's going to have to do some resurrecting of this team next year because the defense is okay. Your offense is abysmal. Jacksonville was a minus 11.5 favorite, and I picked them, and they cover. Next up, Arizona Cardinals at the Houston Texans. Man, the Texans defense is an absolute wrecking ball. Absolute wrecking ball. And that's a tight division. Tight division that they're also in. Arizona, not playing for anything. Old 5'10" Kyler Murray is done for the season, not going to come back. And I'm curious to see what this offseason is going to entail with Kyler Murray. They might move on from him. Believe it or not, they might move on from him. And guys, you know it's 5 days from Christmas. And I got the Christmas cups. Well, my wife has the Christmas cups out. God, I can't talk. I just use them. Okay? There's some really nice ones that I like. Really like this truck, though, with a Christmas tree in the back. But I'm going to get a sip of this coffee, and we're going to keep on rolling here. All right, so next up, we hadn't finished it. Texans defense has just been absolutely dominant. They make teams' offenses that are in the top 10 of the league look terrible. You know, it makes games hard to watch because we love offense. But when your defense just absolutely shuts down a top offense, it is nice. It is nice, especially when you're a fan of that team doing it. Texans beat the Arizona Cardinals 40-20. C.J. Stroud, I don't know, man. You're doing everything not to lose the game, which is great. But you're definitely going to have to step up here and start making some clutch throws here. And we'll talk about that as we get into our picks for the next game. Next up, we have the Green Bay Packers at the Denver Broncos. And let me just say, I did pick the Texans minus 9.5, and of course they cover 40-20. Next up, Denver and the Green Bay Packers. This was at Denver, and Denver's on a winning streak. Defense is really good. Trying to figure out still how in Denver, Packers were a 2.5 favorite. How does that happen? This should have been a minus 1.5 favorite Denver Broncos. Plain and simple. They're at home. They're the better team. Now, offensively, the Denver Broncos are kind of up and down, but they make plays when they need to, and they score enough points to win games. Plain and simple. They're like a 10-game winning streak or 11. Green Bay, you got the Jordan Love factor where he's always up and down. Has a really good game, then he has a mediocre game, then he has a game, and then he's pretty solid. And Green Bay had a chance to win this game, and fortunately lose their top pass rusher as well. Micah Parsons, torn ACL, and I talked about this earlier. How the hell does Patrick Mahomes get diagnosed with a torn ACL faster than Micah Parsons? How? Tyreek Hill, when you watched his legs snap like that, I knew it was an ACL instantly, and I thought he dislocated his knee, and he did. They didn't announce that it was a torn ACL. They feared it was a torn ACL. Until the next day, confirmed. Whatever. Denver continuing that winning streak, and they look like they're going to be the top dog in their division. Going to have a home round playoff game to start the playoffs. Denver wins 34-26. They were the plus 2.5 underdog, and I took them. Next up, Detroit at the Los Angeles Rams. My buddy Shane, he looked at this and said, you got a wrong pick on there. Wrong pick. Now, picking head-to-head and against the spread, they are absolutely different. Absolutely different. Only to an extent when you have a big favorite. You pick the big favorite, they're going to win, okay? So, that's an easy head-to-head. But when you have these 2- and 4-point games, those are real tough. I like the Rams minus 4.5, and they ended up covering 41-34. Ever since Dan Campbell's been calling plays, Jahmyr Gibbs has been an absolute X factor in this offense, and not the case this time. And the big booger flick thing, Jamison Williams, Jahmyr Gibbs, Armon St. Brown had this booger flick. Well, guess what? They can't do it no more. They can't do it. And another interesting comment I want to make about that, there was 2 incidences last week where NFL officials went to the sideline and told the coaching staff to tell their players to stop doing this or take these off. First instance, Raiders playing at Philadelphia. Max Crosby has pink cleats on. Middle of the drive, he notices one of the staff members with a pair of cleats in his hands, just standing there waiting. And he notices, and I believe there was a timeout or something, and the guy said, hey, they want you to change your cleats or they're going to take you out of the game. And he said, no, I'm going to finish this drive. I'll take them off after. So he stayed in there, got the sack, then took the cleats off. But typically that doesn't happen. Usually you just get a fine, you pay it, whatever, you go on about your business. Now they're just being absolute petty. Yes, there's a uniform, but if somebody has some pink cleats for a good cause, let them wear them, fine them, whatever. Take it out of their paycheck. It's not like they pay it on the spot. You just take it out of their checks anyways. Lions, after the booger flicking celebration at the end of that drive, the receivers coach for the Lions comes over and tells them, hey, you guys got to stop doing that and start throwing flags. Why? What is so bad about a booger flick? Now, I can see the whole, but how many people pick their nose and flick a booger? Come on. If you tell me you didn't do it, you're lying. I don't know, man. The NFL's got bigger fish to fry instead of worrying about this petty bullshit that they do. So, whatever. Detroit loses. Rams win 41-34. Rams, one of the top teams in the NFC, fighting for that number 1 seed. And if you watch the Week 16 Thursday night game, you know there is some drama going on in that division. Took the Rams minus 4.5. They cover. Next up, Carolina Panthers at the New Orleans Saints. And I just felt like the Carolina Panthers were the better team. They were favored by minus 2.5. Yet New Orleans and Tyler Shuck find a way. There's always these games where Bryce Young just doesn't play that well or just doesn't do enough to make you think, like, why is he the starter? Another one of those games there. Saints win 20-17. Carolina's playing for something. The Saints are not. Carolina's trying to win that division over the Bucs. And I think they may do that if the Bucs cannot right the ship. Carolina did not cover the spread, so of course I take an L. Next up, we have the third game on this slate of games with the 10-plus spread. Tennessee at San Francisco, and let me tell you something. I was a little nervous that the Tennessee Titans might cover the spread. San Francisco helped a brother out there. Kick a field goal late in the game. Go up 37-24. Cover that 12.5 spread. San Francisco has a chance to be the number one seed in the NFC. Crazy or not. We'll talk about that a little bit more as soon as we finish this week 15, get in the week 16 picks. You notice I'm speed talking a little bit. I'm trying to hurry up so I can get this college football playoff episode done too. Because, man, I'm itching. For this 12 o'clock kick. Indianapolis at Seattle. The man, the myth, the legend. Phillip Rivers. One of my favorite quarterbacks. One of my favorite. Just a dog. He's got guts. Doesn't miss a lot of games. Heck, doesn't miss games at all. Comes in. Leads a game-winning drive to go up 16-15 against Seattle. I mean, they led the entire game. Seattle kicked all field goals. They had 6 field goals. 6. I took Seattle as a minus 10.5 favorite, thinking that they're going to get after Phillip Rivers. They're just going to get after him. He can't move. Phillip Rivers, he didn't throw for a bunch of yards, but he did everything he needed to give the Colts a chance to win. Seattle did just enough to squeak on by, to keep them in the running for that first place spot in the NFC. Seattle wins 18-16. The Colts are trying to hang on. Phillip will get another start on Monday Night Football against the 49ers. Love seeing Phillip Rivers, but man, don't want to see him get hurt, 44 years old. Next up, Minnesota Vikings at the Dallas Cowboys, and man, Minnesota's not playing for anything at this point. I thought Dallas would pick up where they've left off in weeks past, and they just didn't. Minnesota ran the ball really well. Saw some bad defensive plays by the Cowboys, and ultimately that was the deciding factor. It ultimately was. So Minnesota wins 34-26. Dallas is now eliminated from playoff contention. So sole holder of that first place spot is the Philadelphia Eagles now. Man, what a way to end the 4-game skid. What a way. Miami travels to Pittsburgh. And let me tell you something. If you watched the first half of this game and it's your team, you know the Miami Dolphins came out and were just hitting every single play on defense. Just absolutely land the wood. And there was some really good tackling. Really good tackling by the Dolphins. And I mean, most of the time you see somebody out in the open, they usually miss that tackle. Dolphins didn't do that in the first half. They played really, really well until about 3 minutes left in the second quarter. Till about 3 minutes left in the second quarter, and these damn Pittsburgh Steelers, third down, fourth down, Hayward comes in, QB sneak, gets it. Or third down, QB sneak doesn't get it. Lines right back up, fourth down, same play, gets it. Couple plays, third down, fourth down, gets it. Just a long drive. They score before half, come out, start the second half with another score. So it's 14-3 real quick. And you get the absolute dog shit version of Tua in this game. Dog shit. Absolute dog shit. I don't know how else to say it. Tua has regressed so much in his play. So much. doesn't move well, doesn't step into all of his throws ever now. Look at his Alabama highlights. Look at them. When he throws a ball, what happens? He steps, he throws, he follows through. Like his body follows through. Last 2 years in Miami, the man doesn't have arm strength. He has to follow through on his throws, and he is not. He is throwing balls down the field into double, triple coverage. The interception was so bad in the Steelers game that Mike McDaniel knew, I got to make a change. I have to. It's him or me. And it ain't going to be me. I feel bad for the Dolphins. I don't feel bad for Tua because how many times this year has he ran for a first down and slid short? Tried to get the first down as a quarterback. You know when you start to slide, that's where you're down. As soon as you do the down. Not the, now I touched, I'm ahead. No, as soon as you started to do the slide. He doesn't dive forward for nothing. Easily could have dove forward for some first downs. You know, nobody's going to come head on and hit you like that. Just fall forward. Don't run anybody over. Fall forward. Yet, he doesn't do that. There was another pass to Jalen Waddle where he did his RPO. He looked over the middle, and you see the damn linebacker sitting there. He doesn't move, and you still throw it. I don't know. Dolphins, though, lose 28-15. I picked them plus 3.5 because they're my team, and not worth picking anymore, apparently. Tua, it's been fun, dude, but it's time to get rid of your shirts, my man. Tua and Tyreek shirts are probably about to go in the trash this summer. So, guys, there's my picks for the Week 15 review. I went 9-7. I'm going to go ahead and try to rip through these Week 16 games real quick here. I'll talk a little bit more about the ones that matter than the ones that don't. So, Los Angeles Rams travel to Seattle, and the Rams were up 30-14 in this game, guys. 30-14. I picked them -1.5 because they won the previous game. And with about 8 minutes left in the fourth quarter, the tides turned. Absolutely turned. Ran the pump back. Then the Rams went scoreless in the fourth. Seattle wins on a 2-point conversion in overtime. Hell, the 2-point conversion that they got. Have you ever saw that? Have you ever saw them call an incomplete pass, go down there to kick off, stop the play for review, and say that it was a backwards pass and we had a clear recovery in the end zone? Good old Charbonnet gets 2-point conversion, and that allows them to be 22 from a 22-30 game to a 30-30 game, just like that. Going to overtime, Rams go up 37-30. Seattle comes down the field, and hey, on that 2-point conversion, Rams called a timeout, Seattle called a timeout, still came out, convert a 2-point conversion. What a game. What a game, but hey, I'm taking the L on that because I took Rams -1.5. All right, so today is Saturday, and today we've got 2 NFL games, a bunch of Sunday games, of course, and we have a Monday night game. So, excuse me, I'm going to go ahead and try to rip these off real fast because I've got to go to the restroom. Philadelphia Eagles at Washington. Philadelphia's a -5.5. Washington, all they're really trying to do is play a little bit of a spoiler, drop the Eagles in their seeding. But I'm going to take the Eagles -5.5, just a better all-around team than the Commanders are. Next up, Green Bay Packers at Chicago. I feel really good about Chicago. Ben Johnson's really got Caleb Williams clicking on all cylinders, and they're in Chicago. Not sure why they're not the favorite. Packers are the -1.5, but I'm going to go Bears +1.5. I just think that they're going to be able to cover the spread against the Green Bay Packers. Next up, starting this Sunday slate of games, 1 p.m. kickoff, Buffalo Bills at the Cleveland Browns. Browns have nothing to play for. I think they might get after the Browns a little bit, but Shador is going to show some flashes in this game. Pretty sure of this. But give me Buffalo -10.5 to cover that spread and be fighting for that division leader spot. Chargers at the Dallas Cowboys. I'm going to take the boys on this because it's my wife's team. I can't pick against them, unfortunately. Cannot pick against them. Give me the Cowboys at -1.5. Chargers, though, really good team. Let's see if they can protect Justin Herbert. If they cannot, might be a long day for the Chargers. Next up, we have the Kansas City Chiefs at the Tennessee Titans. Neither team has anything to play for. Gardner Minshew is going to get the start. Not a very big spread either, but we're going to take the Kansas City Chiefs -3.5. Andy Reid's going to put plays together for Gardner. Gardner's experienced. I think they're going to be just fine. Give me the Chiefs. Next up, Jets at the New Orleans Saints. Jets are terrible. They really are. I think the Saints feel really good about Tyler Shuck as their quarterback, and I would too. He has shown you really good flashes, and some people have even maybe compared him to Josh Allen. Not that it's a great comparison, but people have mentioned it. Give me the Saints -4.5 against the Jets. Next up, Minnesota Vikings at the New York Giants. I'm going Vikings. Giants, like I said, they just don't have anything on offense. Nothing. Jackson Dart's the guy, and I think because he doesn't have weapons on the outside, he feels more enticed to use his legs in this game. So, even the Vikings, both have nothing to play for. Really hard when there's nothing to play for in these games except just picking the spread, in my opinion. Next up, Tampa Bay at Carolina. So, I think this is ultimately going to be your division decider. Tampa Bay at Carolina. Tampa Bay's not been playing good at all. And I've already told you once that I'm going to look at taking the Carolina Panthers in this just because the Bucs look so bad. That's what I'm doing. Give me the Carolina Panthers +2.5. Chance the Bucs could win, but Carolina, I think, is just been playing a little bit more consistent. Next up, Cincinnati at the Miami Dolphins. Hey, neither team playing for a damn thing now. Not a damn thing, but hey, give me the Dolphins. Quinn Ewers getting the start. I don't know what it is about Ohio teams and Quinn Ewers having to play against them, but second time he's playing this year, going to be against another Ohio team. Next up, Jacksonville at Denver. I think Denver is going to get after Trevor Lawrence. I think Trevor Lawrence is going to get exposed a little bit in this game, which may lead to some playoff issues for them. But Denver trying to keep that winning streak alive, continue to be a possible number one seed in the AFC. It's getting crazy over there, but let's see what happens here. Give me Denver -2.5 against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Next up, Atlanta at Arizona. And this is your second 4 o'clock game. Should have said that. Both teams not playing for anything at all. I like the Falcons in this. I think Kirk Cousins gives them a better chance to win. Just knowing the situations that you're in and putting him in the best play call. Jacoby Brissett, he's doing a good job over there. Much better than Kyler Murray, in my opinion. And Michael Wilson, holy cow. If you had him in fantasy, you might think he's a little bit better than Marvin Harrison. I'm just saying. Don't mean it, just saying it. Pittsburgh at Detroit. Detroit's a -6.5 favorite. Pittsburgh's not really playing for anything in this because if they win or lose, it does not affect them in their playoff seeding. But the last game of the season will when they play the Ravens. So give me Detroit -6.5. I think they're going to get after this Pittsburgh offense, and I don't know if Pittsburgh's going to have TJ Watt. I think he's out. Las Vegas Raiders at the Houston Texans. Vegas has nothing to play for. Houston has everything to play for as they could win their division because they are playing like the best team. Number one defense, offense, kind of average. But hey, they're -14.5 favorites, and I'm taking them all day. Raiders are terrible. Next up, New England at Baltimore. New England with Drake May. Everything's clicking. I think they're going to right the ship here, and they're going to really put Baltimore in a tough spot in the AFC. So give me New England at Baltimore. They are +2.5 favorites. We shall see how that goes. Next up, and last one of the Monday night slate, San Francisco at Indianapolis. Phillip Rivers getting a second start in prime time. So if you didn't see Phillip Rivers last week play, you're definitely going to see him this week. But overall, I think the San Francisco 49ers are just going to be the better team, and they're going to beat the Colts. Give me the 49ers -5.5. So I'm sorry if I feel like I sped through that last 5 to 7 minutes, but I have got to use the restroom and got to record my next episode. So if you've been listening, thank you so much for tuning in. I did 2 episodes in this one here because I'm going to do another one right after. So thank you guys for listening. Like, share, subscribe, comment, anything you can to get some more views on this. Thank you for listening. Talk to you later.